Most people don't realize they're truly stuck in life until it's too late. And if you're especially in your 20s right now, this matters much more than you think. Let's be real for a second. In your 20s, you have something rare. You have the most energy, the most time, and the fewest real responsibilities you'll ever have again. But once you hit your 30s, things just start going downhill, especially without regular exercise or sleep habits. I can noticeably tell a difference in my energy levels and recovery times in my 30s versus 20s. And at the same time, life just continues to stack up. Work gets more demanding as you climb the corporate ladder, bills get bigger, maybe you start a family, and more responsibilities start piling up, your calendar fills up, and your freedom quietly disappears. No one warns you, it just happens. And that's where the trap starts. The trap isn't just working a job, it's thinking you have all the time in the world, so you delay the hard moves. You'll tell yourself, like, oh, I'll just start investing later when I have some more time. I'll take risk when I'm more financially stable. I'll travel once I make more money, or I'll get serious about my health next year. Well, next year turns into five, then into 10, and suddenly you're 35, tired, locked into payments, and wondering how life has sped up so fast. That's why your 20s can be really dangerous if you aren't accountable for your future. If I were starting over my 20s, here's exactly what I do. First, the obvious, get any decent job fast, whether it's part time or full time, just anything to where you can start saving some money. I remember after college, I was desperate. This was right around the time the housing bubble popped, and nobody was hiring. I literally had to hunt down a CEO just to get my foot in the door. And even then, my paycheck was a joke, but it kept me alive. If you want to survive your 20s, you have to live like you're broke for a while and learn to save. That means rooming with friends, family, or anyone you trust. This is just temporary sacrifice, not failure, and learning to cut back on things for a while. I did this for many, many years in order to save up what I have now. Another thing I would do in my 20s is learn how to invest early on. There are two paths here, the way I look at it. You got the conservative route or the aggressive route. Both can work, both require discipline, so let's break them down. I'm going to start with the conservative and I'll get to the aggressive in a moment, so just stick with me here. You've probably heard compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. Well, compound interest doesn't feel exciting at first. There's no adrenaline rush, no overnight wins. But if you give it enough time, it becomes a very powerful tool. And I'll give you an example here. Let's say your initial investment is $10,000 and you invest 300 a month starting at age 25, earning an average 8% annual return. By your early 60s, you're going to be looking at about $1 million. Now, if you wait until your early 30s to start, you'll need to invest about 600 to 650 a month, almost double the amount just to catch up to the same number. And if you want to see how the numbers play out with your own situation, plug them into a compound interest calculator, which I've included in the video description. But if you really don't know where to start, I would go with low cost index funds. Not financial advice, but these are the safe, steady workhorses of investing. So something like VOO or SPY both track the S&P 500, which covers about 500 of the largest US companies, or something like VTI, which tracks the entire US stock market from large, mid, and small companies. Are they boring? Absolutely. Will they make you a millionaire in 5 years? Probably not. But will they keep you from being broke at 50? Yeah, and that's the whole point. All right, you're probably saying, I get it, but what if I want something more aggressive, the higher risk, higher reward type? Well, this is the path I took and where I saw my biggest gains. I would say start with an industry you like or are already familiar with. I mainly focus on tech because that's what I understand. I don't like to invest in things I can't explain. And I like to follow the industry. I sometimes read financial reports and study how companies actually make money. And a big part of my escape plan came from Bitcoin and a company called MicroStrategy, which I may break that down in another video, but I positioned myself early on before most people were paying attention. I mean, these weren't random bets. I knew what I was buying and I understood why it had potential. But one industry I would avoid at all costs is biotech, unless you genuinely enjoy stress and volatility. Even seasoned professionals get absolutely wrecked in that space. I mean, one failed clinical trial, one FDA rejection, and you can watch 70% of your investment just vanish overnight. I would also say don't YOLO your life savings into something because it's trending on Reddit or some influencer hyped it up. I mean, you gotta risk smart, not emotionally. And only bet what you can afford to lose. And if you're going aggressive, make sure you actually understand what you're buying. Your future self will either thank you or resent you based on what you do. So you got to choose wisely. And here's another thing I would do, and this part might sound controversial, but hear me out. Distraction is expensive. In your 20s, everything fights for your attention. Social media, dating, nightlife, trends. There's nothing wrong with enjoying life, but chasing every dopamine hit keeps you average. Focus compounds the same way money does. You have to build your foundation first, then enjoy the rewards. Next, you gotta take care of your body because your future self one day will thank you. I used to lift weights all the time, and heavy squats were my favorite. I just loved pushing the weight higher and higher, but after a while, I started getting really bad lower back pain. And sadly, I ignored it for a while. I told myself it was normal, just part of training hard. After a few months, I finally stopped because I just couldn't stand the pain anymore. But years later, I eventually threw my back out just for getting out of bed. It was easily one of the worst pain of my life. I basically couldn't walk for a few days. And in that moment, I knew it was because of all those heavy squats I kept forcing through. So what I'm saying is train smart. By not ego lifting and having good form is equally important. And eat better by mainly sticking with real whole foods and get enough sleep for your body and mind to fully recover. You don't need to be extreme to get muscle because money means nothing if your body can't enjoy it. Next, network like your life depends on it because it sort of does. Most jobs aren't filled online, they're filled through people. I've gotten many previous jobs because it was through a friend of mine or a previous coworker I had good relations with. So try your best and do not burn bridges. Your reputation compounds just like your money. Last but not least, I would travel more before life locks you in. Go see different countries, different cultures, different ways of living. Domestic travel is fine too, but international travel really changes how you see money, success, and happiness. And strangely, the more I did it, the more creative I became. I started thinking differently. I became more adaptable and just better at handling long term challenges. So, the next time you have an opportunity to travel, whether it's with friends or family or just even by yourself, take it because once the responsibilities start stacking up, being able to travel becomes really difficult fast. So, here's the bottom line don't drift. No, but seriously, your 20s are a window of leverage, a rare one that closes faster than you think. Use your energy while you still have it. Protect your time like it's currency, build money before responsibilities pile up, and take care of your body before it breaks down. Go meet people and build real connections. See the world while you're still free to move. Because the real trap isn't hard work. The trap is waiting, thinking you have all the time in the world to start later. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, hit the like and subscribe. It really makes a difference because making these videos actually take a lot of time. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, feel free to share it with them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.